That's correct. I'm originally from Turkey, but I teach Italian at the University of Oregon. I've been doing it since '93, and I also teach Turkish. And today I'm here to share a mid-afternoon snack, an appetizer, which is pretty easy to put together. And it's called, let me share my screen now. It's called Kisir. Huh? Kisir. Turkish has this sound. You know, when you're disgusted with something, you make this sound in English, but it's not disgusting in Turkish. So it's Kisir. Do you want to give it a try? Kisir. Very good. Very good. Very good. So Kisir, you know, and here are some expressions. When you're hungry in Turkish, you say, hold on, what's happening here? One second, something's happening with my screen. There's something that popped that I didn't want. Just give me a sec. Okay, gone. Okay, so when you're hungry in Turkish, you say, one sec. Again, some things that are not supposed to pop are popping here. Okay, I think that's why. Okay, you say karnım acıktı. Karnım acıktı. You basically say my tummy got hungry. Okay, do you want to say karnım acıktı? Karnım acıktı. Oh, okay. I want to eat some kısır. Okay, canım kısır istiyor. This is an expression that you use when you crave for something. Can in English it's pronounced like John the name. John basically means soul, life, vitality. So you say my John, my soul, my spirit wants kısır. Okay, so you can see the importance of food, you know, in Turkish. It's something your soul, your spirit, your vitality wants, craves for. Okay. And then how about you? Do you also want kısır? Senin de canın istiyor mu kısır? If it's yes, say evet. Evet.
Evet.
If it's no, say hayır. Hayır. Evet.
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 Hayır.
Evet.
Evet. Aha. Kısır istiyor musunuz? Evet, hayır.
Evet. Hayır.
Evet. Okay, so Kisir is really easy to put together. Okay, it's basically, this is all from, you know, you can Google this. This is all from Wikipedia. Kisir is a bulgur-based salad. But the type of bulgur you use is not easy to find here. But if you go to a place like the Asian market, Middle Eastern market, you have to find this really fine bulgur. And in Turkish, they number it as number 1 or 2. So to make this kısır, it's best to buy number 1 or 2. You can see it's really fine, okay? So these are the basic ingredients that you need. I will show you in a little bit. And you can pretty much add any fresh vegetable, but these are the commonly used vegetables, and I'll show you my own version. It's served at room temperature, so you can make it and keep it out for a while, for a few hours. You can serve it as a side dish, as an appetizer. At tea time, this is a very common thing to serve when women get together in the afternoons for tea time. They call it altın ya da dolar günü. So gold or dollar days. What do you think this might mean? So, you know, a whole bunch of friends get together. Everybody brings a gold coin or like how much ever they can afford, $100 or $50. So everybody puts it in a pot, and every time they meet, they do this monthly. They draw somebody's name, and that person gets all the golden coins or all the dollars. So it's a good way of saving money on a monthly basis, and all of a sudden you have this lump sum. If you want to buy like a refrigerator or, you know, some household item that's, you know, more expensive than you can afford on a monthly basis, this would be a good time to invest your money. Good way to invest your money, eat delicious food, right? And then of course, if your name is drawn, your name is out of the pot, right? So this way everybody gets a turn, right? Okay. And it's also served as an afternoon snack. So now I'll show you the main ingredients. Let's see what's there in kısır. Okay. Like I said, in kısır there is, one second. There is domates. Domates, you can repeat. Domates. Domates. Okay.
Yes.
What else is there? Let's see. There is nane. Nane. Mint. Nane. Nane. Okay. There is maydanoz. Parsley. And you should get Italian parsley. Okay. Parsley. Nane. Maydanoz. What else? Taze soğan. Taze soğan, fresh onions, green onions, right? Huh? Taze soğan literally means fresh onions, okay? And then what else? Let's see. Okay, taze soğan, bulgur, like I showed you, bulgur. Huh? Some secret ingredients is this pepper paste. Okay, this you can find on Amazon, and they can make it either super spicy or mild. Huh? I use mild, okay? You also need tomato paste. Okay, and then olive oil and limon. Limon. Tamam mı? Huh? Tamam mı means okay. You can say evet or hayır. Tamam mı? Evet. Huh? Tamam. So now these things in Turkey you can buy at a supermarket like we have here, but a very common place to go do produce shopping are these weekly produce markets, huh? Okay. And then just to give you an idea, if you buy one bunch of maydanoz, it's 1.5 Turkish lira. Bulgur is 7 lira. Nane is 1 lira. And if you look at lira, 1 lira is 12 cents only. You can easily be a dollar billionaire in Turkey, huh? Unfortunately, the Turkish lira is going down, huh? But it's kind of a cheap place if you're going there with US dollars, huh? Okay. Okay, so I put you a couple of links here, which I will share with you at the end, but I'm going to show you my version of doing this, okay? So I've never done a cooking show before. We'll see how this works. Now, can you see my table? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, so this bulgur, since it's so fine, you don't even have to cook it on stovetop. You take 1 cup and then 1 cup and a half boiling water. You add to it, and you just cover it and let it sit for half an hour. Because it's so fine, it kind of cooks in that boiling water itself. Okay. Now, next thing I'll do is to add salt. Huh? So this is a teaspoon in, I'm going to show you like Turkish measuring types. This is a teaspoon in Turkish, which is like a demi-tasse. In our cooking measurements, it corresponds to like half a teaspoon. Huh? So I'm going to put a couple teaspoons of salt here. Like Italians, we also like it salty. I'm going to add tomato paste. I already have some here, so I'm going to just squeeze this one. Okay. Not too much. Then I'll add this special pepper paste. Okay. This is very delicious. Okay, 2 tablespoons. And then to this, I'll add, this is a teacup in Turkish. So when we give measurements, we say, oh, a teacup, a water glass full of this and that. So I'm going to put a teacup of lemon juice, which is more like 1/3 of a cup of lemon juice. Okay. And then olive oil. I'm not measuring the olive oil, but I'm going to make how many circles? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 circles of this olive oil. Okay. So probably 1/6 of a cup or something. Okay. And then what I will do is to mix it nicely until the whole bulgur starts changing color. Okay. And then I push it down so the bulgur gets crushed a little bit to absorb all the flavors of lemon, olive oil, and salt. Okay. I think it's good enough because I'm gonna mix it more later. So now I'm going to add some diced tomatoes. I used probably 5 or 6 of these tomatoes, which I get from Trader Joe's. They're delicious. These dark colored tomatoes. Okay. I chopped the fresh onions, the green onions. So this is about maybe 2/3 of a cup. Okay. And then I also chopped nane, mint. Okay. So I'm going to also put nane in it. And I also chopped maydanoz. Maydanoz. I will put about 1 cup of chopped maydanoz because I really like it. Okay, so now put all these things away and mix them nicely. In other Middle Eastern, Mediterranean cultures, there are similar dishes to this. In the Middle East, this is called tabbouleh, tabbouleh. Maybe you have already had that kind of salad. In the Italian culture, I think, Paolo, this is pretty similar to panzanella. Would you say? I don't know if Paolo is still there, Lara.
I'm not sure if he is.
Okay.
Here, yes.
Yeah.
But I've never made it, so this is really interesting.
You never made it, but this reminds me of panzanella, where you put onions, tomatoes, olive oil. Okay.
Okay.
And then before you know, your kisir is ready. And then the way it's served, you have a plate of lettuce. Okay, lettuce leaves. And then you take it and decorate it like this. And then the lettuce leaves are not there for only for decorative purposes. You can also use the lettuce leaf as a wrap and have a kisir wrap. That's how we eat. And then kisir is ready. Some people also like to use this nar ekşisi, which is the sour of pomegranate. Pomegranate sour. It's condensed pomegranate juice, basically. And then you can add it as another flavor. And kisir is ready. So because this is something that we eat at tea time, I'm also going to show you a traditional way of making tea. So Turkish people drink black tea 24/7, basically. Very alert people. But like you can see, Turkish tea set is kind of a double boiler. In the bottom, you boil the water. In this top part, you put loose tea leaves, although today I'm cheating and I'm using tea bags. Okay. And when the water is boiled, you add water and then brew the tea on this top part. Okay. The reason why you want to do it like this is people who drink tea at different strengths can decide how much tea to use and how much water to add to it. I like my tea on the darker side. I can take my little teacup and pour some of the strongly brewed tea and then add water to it. And I also like my tea with şeker. So I can add some şeker and enjoy. It's nice Kisir with some lettuce leaves. And it's as simple as this. I can make a wrap and then have it as a kisir wrap with tea. And that's our recipe.
Wow. That looks so yummy. My goodness.
That looks really good.
It's yummy, it's nutritious, it's very easy to put together. And then whatever fresh vegetable you like, you can feel free to chop it finely and add to it. So people who like it spicy can add red pepper flakes, green peppers, adjust the, sour and saltiness of it. And there you have it.
That's wonderful. What an impressive, you look like you do cooking shows frequently, and you said this is your first one.
Well, I practiced a little bit.
Oh, wonderful. Well, are there questions for Harinder?
Yes, are there questions? I'd like to learn from you what brings you here, what you're interested in, what's your interest in languages and different cultures?
How popular is it?
Oh, this is a very popular dish. You can, like I say, whenever your soul wants, you can put this together in less than half an hour, really, because these are ingredients that you would find in a Turkish kitchen pretty much every day. These are the basic ingredients we use for all types of cooking. So it's really easy to put together. If your friend calls and says, oh, I'm gonna come and have some tea with you, you can just put this together. Hospitality is a very important part of Turkish culture, and that always entails a nice cup of tea and something that you can offer next to it. Oh, and this is the nice sound it makes when you stir. Like you can see, the Turkish teacup is always going to be clear because you have to see that color of tea to enjoy, it on all senses.
Yeah.
What's the white powder you put into your tea?
Oh, the white powder I put in tea is sugar. Yeah. So how about you guys? Do you study different languages and cultures at your schools? Yeah. Have you experienced any language similar to Turkish, or?
I mean, I don't remember back in Arkansas, which is where I'm originally from. When I was in FGRTC, we didn't really study like cultures, but we looked at the diversity between us in America and what's like over in a different country.
In different countries.
Some of the stuff like that I saw, it blew my mind. I didn't think it was that way. I didn't think it would have been like that. But it's just that Americanism in me that I just didn't see what's like on the outside.
Yeah, it's very empowering to study a new language, to get to know a new culture, because it's like discovering a new you. I always say this to my students. You discover a whole new way of looking at the world, right? A whole new worldview. And with it comes, different way of looking at situations, processing, and problem solving, right? I'm fluent in 3 different languages and 3 different cultures, so I can look at what's at hand from multiple perspectives and, pick the best solution that each and every way of looking at things offer. It's wonderful. And then when you the other way it empowers you is to see, despite all those differences, we are all human beings, right?
Yes.
We pretty much laugh at same things and same things make us cry. So, you know, you discover that, you know, these differences that you see, the ways you label people in different ways and judge them in different ways are actually really man-made differences. And we can actually live together in harmony when we make that first step to get to know each other. You know, and also it also helps you to look at yourself in a little more objective way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that it gives you the power to you know, develop self-reflection. So I'm glad you're exposed to some of these things in your program, Gavin.
Thank you.
Harinder, there was a question in the
Yes.
chat about
okay.
Turkish culture. If someone comes into your home, are they obligated to feed them?
Yes, it's not an obligation. It's something that you do. It's part of it's part of your nature, right? It's not you never do it as an obligation. In Turkish, we call everyone who comes to your house as a guest of God. So a guest who comes from God, right? So you treat them with utmost respect and you share whatever you have with them. There are certain rules when you go to a Turkish home. You must always take off your shoes. It's always kind to bring something to your host, you know, something sweet or some flowers. And yeah.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead, please. And
how long do you normally steep your... Sorry.
Can you say your name, identify yourself?
Sorry. Yeah, I'm Ash.
Okay.
I was wondering, how long do you normally steep your tea?
When you brew tea like this, you let it steep for about 10 to 15 minutes until everything comes out really strongly. And, you know, it can be as strong as you want in this part of the tea set, right? Because then you can adjust how strong you want to make it by adding water, right?
Yeah.
We probably have time for two more questions. There is one in the chat about how's your knowledge of language allowed you to do a lot of traveling?
You know, I didn't travel that much. And I'll tell you why. You know, I always, when I studied Italian in Turkey, I always received a scholarship to go to Italy every summer, right? And at the end, I received a scholarship from the Italian government to be part of a program to learn how to teach Italian to foreigners. And at the end of that program, I met my husband, who was there with the University of Oregon Study Abroad program. So after that, you know, we got married and came here. And in between, it was my travel was always, you know, in this triangle: Italy, Turkey, US. So I could have traveled more, but I was either a poor student or an instructor who worked in the summer. So I didn't have much time to travel, to be honest. But that's a particular situation. It's not like I don't like to travel.
Oh, Harinder, we had a couple people with hands raised.
Yes, go ahead, please. Chiara and One. Yes, please go ahead.
I was just gonna ask, like, how you see the differences between like food, like American food versus like Turkish food. Do you like? It's very visible differences, but is there like, do you like your traditional like Turkish food better, or is there like different things you like?
I like my traditional food better when my mom cooks it, because I don't have that much time to cook here. But the basic difference between American food and Turkish food is always cooked daily with fresh ingredients, much like Italian food, right? You keep the food in the fridge. You don't keep the food in the fridge for more than a day. So cooking is part of your daily routine. Yeah. Does that answer your question, Chiara? More or less?
I was wondering.
Yes, go ahead.
I noticed that there wasn't any meat in the dish that you showed us. Is it common to be plant-based?
Yeah, this is a plant-based dish. You don't put meat in this dish.
Is that a common thing for a lot of your dishes?
There are lots of Turkish dishes that are plant-based. And you usually eat those dishes at room temperature. You can also eat them hot, but usually eat them at room temperature. But there are also lots of meat dishes. I am vegetarian, so I prefer to stick to these plant-based dishes.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Where or whom did you learn this recipe from? Because it looks really great.
Oh, this is this is a recipe I grew up with. So from my mom and my grandmother.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Very, very common snack dish. Yeah.
So we can do one last question, and then we have our British faculty coming next.
Wonderful.
Harinder.